There. Hello, and welcome to episode number 158 of the TEW Challenge Run. We're back in Paris for Le SmackDown on Le Bleu, Le go-home show for Le King of Le Ring, which will also be in Paris tomorrow night. Without any further ado, let's jump straight into the show.
Think twice before you pounce. Thinking over, ready or not, is the moment. Better off stepping aside, burning with vengeance and solid revive. Daredevil, you picked the wall. If you think you could get away, you have us to repay.
Le show starts off with a 78. Le Big Dog is back out, and he says, "Look, yeah, okay, Ali, I see you. Right, you're right. It's not my fault that I get opportunities that you can't get, and I'm sure if you keep grinding hard, you'll get those opportunities. But I can see you're already a United States champion. We'll ignore how you held the company up to ransom to get reinstated and get that shot. But hey, I'm sure you earned it, pal. But unless you're a coward, you'll defend that championship against me at King of the Ring. What do you say, Mustafa?" And Ali comes out. He says, "No, I told you last week. Look, I'd love to face you at King of the Ring, Roman, because I know I can beat you and I'm going to embarrass you, and the Roman Reigns role will be given to somebody called Mustafa Ali, but it's not because I know I'm scared. It's not because I am a coward. You can believe me or not. You're probably going to call me a coward anyway, and believe me, I look like me and I live in this country. I've been called a lot worse than that before. So that's not why I'm not going to put the title on the line. It's because you don't deserve it. You don't deserve a title opportunity against me. I'll face you because that's how wrestling works. You need to put our differences aside, I guess, as aside as I can put them. But you're not getting a championship match with me. I'll face you non-title. I'll defend this title next week against somebody else who's more deserving to get my monthly defense under wraps. But it won't be against you at this Saturday at King of the Ring tomorrow night. I'll face you, but non-title." And I was like, "Okay, you got yourself a deal. So surely if I beat you tomorrow night, then I'll get a title opportunity." And he's like, "You know what, you're right, yeah, that would make sense, Roman. Too bad you're not going to beat me. Too bad you won't even make it there." And that's when Dabba-Kato and Kushida swarm the ring, and they're going to be a 3-on-1 assault on Roman Reigns when the Usos come out. And they chase off the Message Boys. And they sort of look at Roman and go, "We got you, Us. We got you, Us." And he's like, "I told you I didn't want your help." I'm like, "Us, we got you." And he's like, "Okay, it's nice to know that you got me, but I said I'm going to go it alone." So they save Roman's arse here tonight, and he's got a match with Ali non-title at King of the Ring, but he doesn't look too happy that they've come to help him. 77. They can't all be winners like every fucking match on Raw was. But Nakamura beats Dolph Ziggler with a Kinshasa to advance to the SmackDown final of King of the Ring to face Sami Zayn. So the final four in that King of the Ring are Buddy Murphy, Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn, and Shinsuke Nakamura. Murphy and Owens obviously from Raw, Shinsuke and Sami from SmackDown. They'll face off on tomorrow night at the pay-per-view, and the winners of those two matches will go on to face each other later on in the show to determine the true King of the Ring, and who will be receiving a World Championship match at SummerSlam. Backstage, Pierce is with Ray and Dominic. He says, "Look, we want to get our hands on Joe. Obviously, I've got him tomorrow night, but my son also wants to get revenge on Joe, so here's what we're going to do. Tag team main event tonight, Dominic and me against Joe. Joe can find a partner of his own choosing, and we're going to go 2-on-2. And Pierce was like, "You know, I like that. That's kind of a cool main event, Ray. We've already got Big E and Orton. We've got the two King of the Ring matches. What's to add to a SmackDown card? I'll go find Joe, tell him to find a partner. It's on. Main event, the Mysterios against Samoa Joe and his friend. Well, not really friend, because Joe doesn't really have friends on this roster, but whoever he finds to align himself with, whoever he can tolerate for long enough. Speaking of Oney, we announced that match last week on Talking Smack, and we now got Kayla with Big E. And he's in a good spirits. He's in Paris, the city of love. And he's going to make love to Randy Orton. Not in that way, tonight. When they go and put on the greatest match possible in front of the Paris fans. Because he knows Orton's not been here recently. He knows Orton's also going to have a chip on his shoulder. But Big E's is bigger. And Big E beating Orton will prove that he is here to stay here on SmackDown. Prove that it wasn't for nothing that he abandoned his friends over on Raw. Then Orton just sort of walks into frame and he's like, "Good luck, E." And he walks off. 62, that's actually decent. What would be the follow-on turnaround match from Ember and Kaylee Ray last week, but Shotzi's wrestling Sasha Banks, and she's not as mental as Ricochet. Well, she is, but she doesn't want to wrestle twice, is the point. And the show's not as long as Raw, so haven't got to fill as much time. So, Ember Moon's going one-on-one with the other member as well, and she ends up coming short to Nikki Cross because obviously Shotzi's busy getting ready for her match later on, but Kaylee Ray's still out here with Nikki, and she distracts Ember long enough for Nikki to get the win with the Purge. 48 for Nikki and a 57 for Ember Moon, and there's a fly flying around my head, and I've got him, yeah. 66. Usos are backstage going, "Nah, Us. It's fine. He's family. Roman knows that we got his back. That's all that matters, Us, is our family bond. And we can trust him to beat Ali by himself, Us, but we've got to focus on our own matches." That's when Bivens walks into frame with his whole crew. Corbin is there, and there's not enough room for him on camera. Bivens like, "You know what, you should be focusing on your tag team title match tomorrow night, because I've just been told of what it is. It's a triple threat tag team match. You'll be defending against the Street Profits, Andrew Dawkins and Montez Ford, and my guys, Bivens Enterprises, which will be AJ Styles and Chad Gable." So before then, when AJ Styles goes out to embarrass Angelo Dawkins, I hope you're watching, because this is what's going to happen to you tomorrow night, and wherever Bianca Belair is with her husband Montez Ford. Hope you can watch too, because that will be Bianca at Evolution when Dakota kicks her head off once and for all. And now, if you'll excuse me, SmackDown's KSI, as I call myself, has got to go and pull more of his multi-talents and go and escort AJ Styles to a phenomenal victory. And that match gets a 74, which actually overachieved by a lot, because we're in Paris and their ratings have been nerfed, as you can tell by Angelo Dawkins getting a 49. He's normally in like the high 50s, 60s sort of area. But AJ does win 640 with a Styles Clash, 78 for AJ, and a 49 for Angelo. And this is the sort of wake-up call I need, because normally when I book my matches in, it starts at the default time of 10 minutes, and I'm like, oh, so up for a good match, down for a squash match. But this was just like a little time-filling match, 7 minutes, and it still did a good rating, so not every single... I feel like I've told myself this every month, but not every single match has to go 10 plus minutes to get greens. Ziggler is backstage with Bobby Roode, and they're angry at him losing to Nakamura early on tonight. And he's just ranting and venting. When Drew Gulak walks in and he says, "Huh, but I thought you were the best, Dolph. I thought you were going to show the world, no pun intended, why you are now not underrated. You are now underrated by the fans and not by WWE." And he's like, "Shut up, Gulak, you lost as well. You're supposed to be better than me, but you lost to Sami Zayn. Now neither of us are busy for the pay-per-view. You happy?" And Gulak's like, "Huh. Well, why don't we change that?" He's like, "What? If neither of us have anything going on at the pay-per-view, why don't we settle this on the kickoff show, me and you one-on-one?" And Ziggler's like, "You're on, kid. Good luck getting the Ziggler rub, because for you, the show is over before it even begins. And we're going to steal the show on the pre-show, blah blah blah." Generic Dolph Ziggler lines. 76 for the second SmackDown Queen of the Ring semi-final. Sasha gets the win over Shotzi, so Shotzi won't be doing WWE Evolution. She's just going to have the tag match because she's out of Queen of the Ring. And Sasha gets the win with a bank statement in 11:06. And she gets a 77, Shotzi gets a 56. And then Sasha and Boss get into the ring after the match. And she grabs the microphone. She's like, see, you're looking at the next Queen of the Ring because it's kind of written in the scroll for me. I'm the boss. We've done the stats. Dana, show us the stats. And business will be booming for Boss after Evolution when Sonya, Bayley, wherever you are. I was supposed to do a contract signing with those two this week, but I forgot to book it. Just realised that now. I knew there was something I was forgetting. Oh well. So there wasn't really much of a feud there. It was sort of just the best two women I had on the show to get to a title match. So I'm not too disheartened about it. But yeah, Sasha, Sonya, Bayley, whichever one of you two wins at Evolution, you gotta be ready for me at SummerSlam. I sure hope it's my old friend Bayley. I'd love to embarrass her again. That's when Shayna comes out and the expressions of all of the Boss members change because they've just suddenly realised who she's actually facing in the SmackDown semi. Shayna takes a moment and he says, "You're acting awful cocky for someone who's got to get in the ring with me." And I've been kept back for months because I don't know, I guess there was no plans to use me on the show, but now I'm here and I'm going to make the most of this opportunity. Queen of Spades becomes Queen of the Ring and you're just the first little deer in this lioness's way. And once she just devours you, she's going to devour everyone in the women's division and become the top dog yet again. So good luck, Sasha. You're going to need it. And then Sasha sort of like, just not really saying anything, she's sort of just like, oh shit, I forgot I've got to face Shayna Baszler. Speaking of something of the ring semi-finals for SmackDown, Shinsuke and Boogs are celebrating Shinsuke getting to the King of the Ring SmackDown final. And then Sami Zayn walks up to him, his opponent. He's like, hey, Shinsuke, Shin, look at us, who'd have thought? Last year, me and you, we weren't exactly friends. Last SummerSlam, we actually fought each other, and you got the better of me on that night, but I think back from when we used to be friends, we're both different people now. And the rematch, it's going to be great. And I can't seem to shake you off my coattails. You've sort of been joined with me at the hip. I was your debut match at NXT. We fought each other SummerSlam last year, and tomorrow night, the next chapter is written, and I'm finally going to get that win over you, Shinsuke. I hope you're ready for it. And then Shinsuke's like, now more than ever. And they shake hands. Yeah, 91. I'm not gonna lose my mind as much as I did with Kofi and Jomo because it's not as good, and because it's Big E and Randy Orton. But Big E wins squeaky clean in 12:26 with a big ending. 79 for Big E and a 90 for Randy Orton. And I'm actually happy this did this good because, as you'll see by this segment, it gets a 99. Big E, he sort of looks down at Orton, and he obviously offers out a handshake. And he goes to shake hands. Orton shakes his hand, and then boom, RKO out of nowhere. He drops Big E with an RKO. Boo. And then Randy, he sort of looks crazed. He can't believe he's just lost to Big E. He lost to Karrion Kross, now he's lost to Big E. And he's slowly losing his mind, and maybe actions get the better of him. He backs into the corner, and the crowd's like, oh no. Because we haven't seen this side of Orton in about a year. But he delivers the punt to Big E, and he punts Big E in the head. And he starts talking to himself and screaming in anger and frustration, and heads himself back up the ramp as medics come out to stretch a Big E away. So Randy snapped. $79 to follow that serious angle. We obviously go to a break and they show a recap of Big E getting stretched out and what on earth has gone into the mind of Randy Orton. He'd never do this, despite the fact that he does this every year or so. And then Kayla's with Joe and Gorilla. He says, have you found a partner? I went, I didn't. I wanted to find Cesaro, obviously, because me and Cesaro went to war at Great American Bash, and I know he's a tough son of a bitch and a great tag team competitor, but Cesaro isn't here because he got taken out last week or 2 weeks ago in this King of the Ring match. So if I can't get Cesaro, I might as well get the man who got rid of him. Then Johnny Gargano walks, he's like, "Hey, Joey, me and you, don't you worry, I'm not just using you to buddy up and get close to that belt, even though I would like to win it. But I owe you a favour." And Joe's like, "What for?" It's like, Cesaro, he sort of got that opportunity because he took me out and he rode that momentum to get that title shot. But you put him in your place, Joe, and I've got to be eternally grateful for that. You didn't let Cesaro win. And I'm going to repay that favour by not letting the Mysterios win here tonight. And Joe's like, "Okay, just don't screw it up." Ignore the last person you see here. Malcolm Bivens, Shayna Baszler, and a mystery person. We only announced 2 people for Talking Smack this week. 78 main event, should have put Biggie and Orton on last, but this is the better story. Ray and Dominic. Johnny screws up, basically. Cesaro comes back, and he attacks Johnny Gargano. And then, at the end of the show, oh my god, Cesaro's here. Why did he do that? Let's hear from him on Talking Smack. Let's see what he has to say. Then Rey Mysterio pins Johnny with a 619. Because I feel like I needed to give Rey a bit of momentum heading into the match. As evidenced by the closing angle, Angry Joe glaring at Rey on the ramp, and Rey all fired up going, "I'll see you tomorrow night, Joe. Come on, bitch." Here's Cesaro on Talking Smack. And he's just chatting. He's like, "I get it, Johnny. Look, this ain't ballet. We say this for years. Injuries happen, and you just so happened to get hurt against me. I didn't intentionally have it out for you. I was just doing my thing in the ring, and stuff happened. Again, shit happens, but you decided to take away opportunities from me after an accident. You don't take opportunities away from me at all, let alone for reasons that were out of my control, Johnny. And if you want to fight me, I'll fight you. Don't you worry. And this time when you get hurt, maybe I will mean it." Shayna, speaking of meaning to hurt people, she says, again, I said it before, I'm going to say it now. I sat back and just was doing nothing because I guess I'm not pretty enough to be featured on the show every week. They haven't got enough room for a serious ass kicker like me on this show. But Sasha was talking a lot of cock. Sasha's about, 5'0". I think she can beat Submission Magician, the Queen of Spades. Just overlooking me like that. I've dominated everyone on Raw last year. And I'm going to get back to my old glory when I just choke Sasha out at Money in the Bank. Not Money in the Bank. At Queen of the... No! At Evolution is the name of the pay-per-view. And I'm going to go on to win the whole thing. And again, Queen of Spades, Queen of the Ring. Got a nice little ring to it. And I hear Sonya Deville as the champion. And me and her sort of both MMA women. We should have a nice fight. And then all of Bivens Enterprises are on here. And he says, "Look at this. Your boy making big plays yet again. AJ Styles gets that momentum riding into the pay-per-view. He beat Angelo Dawkins. Montez Ford, nowhere to be found. Bianca Belair running scared of Dakota Kai. Omos watching our back. Baron Corbin rejuvenated. And now he's not the king anymore. He hasn't got time to put that robe and crown on. He's got to go back to what he does best, and that's kicking ass." And there's Chad Gable, the greatest in-ring technician. Again, Dolph Ziggler says it. Drew Gulak says it. But Chad Gable doesn't say it. He just does it. And then Pat McAfee's on, and he's like really gassing Gable up as well. And he says, "And tomorrow night, Bivens Enterprises claims their first gold as a group when AJ and Gable win the SmackDown Tag Team Championships." And you've got the Street Profits. They say the profits are up, but there's really, if you're Cameron Grimes watching this, the company to buy stock in is Bivens End, because we've got the greatest collection of talent here on this brand, and we're going to have the greatest champions on this brand after tomorrow night. And there's nothing that the Street Profits or Bianca Belair can do to stop it. 85 rated show somehow, It's because of the 91 rated match and the 78 rated main event. So yeah, that's still really fucking good. It's just not quite as good as Raw. So yeah, I can't shake my nose at. But of course, what matters more than 85 is what you thought of the shows are doing. It'll be in the comments below. And I'll see you next time for 159, which will be the King of the Ring pay-per-view. See you then. What the fuck is this? I haven't turned the thingy off yet. So it's really good that I'm still on. WWE One Night Stand 2021. What the fuck is this? This isn't King of the Ring. Was it on a Friday? I don't want to do this show because I do have King of the Ring and Evolution booked in on the actual dates. Why is this pay-per-view here? Can I just move it, please, and then get rid of it next time? Well, if I cancel it. I can no longer cancel this. Poo. Well, you'll find out how I resolved this at the start of the next episode. Bye-bye.